Okay, welcome back to Kimbo's Crafts and the Eevee project. Hopefully welcome back anyway. This is a project, I already have one video, I'll link it somewhere, maybe up here, for the Eevee project, starting with Eevee, the Pokemon-based Pokemon that all of these evolutions going forward are going to be evolutions of. So this is actually my favorite one. This is Leafeon. Now, if you're a Pokemon fan, which I hope you are, as a Pokemon professor, I am a Pokemon fan, if you can't tell. So this is Leafeon. All Pokemon games that you play, you start with 3 starters, fire, water, and plant-based. Leafeon is plant. So fun fact about me, I always choose plant. It's kind of funny. I really like the fairy Pokemon, but as far as kind of elements, then I really like Leafeon and grass Pokemon. There's just something beautiful about an animal-plant hybrid. That's basically how I see them. So I decided I would go with her next. And I already prepped my materials. If you want to see how to do that, again, I'll have that link for you for the first one. I'm doing all of my pictures 8 by 8, so I prepped my papers beforehand. This one is from the same set, and there wasn't very many, actually I don't think there was any green kind of foil ones. So I went with this gradient in the background, which I think will be nice. And luckily, I've got very foily cards available. Now, I sleeved the cards in advance. It takes so much time, so I got it down and was able to do it pretty quickly to prepare. These are all sleeved in exact fit sleeves to protect them from the glue and things that I'm going to use to attach them. And yeah, they're pretty difficult to put on, so I didn't want to do that on camera and take too much time again. So the first thing we're going to do is prepare our background. Now, we have the background here, but also I have this scrap paper from when I purchased my traveler's notebook. So I wanted to add this to give a little bit of flair to the background, so it's not just a piece of paper. And what I'm going to do is just give it some tears. Since she is a very organic kind of Pokemon, if you think about it that way, I don't want it too structured in the background. So I'm going to go with tearing it. And I'm going to kind of try for diagonal. Okay. That is taking up a lot of the background, so I'll see how I like it if I, there you go, bring it down some more. There we go. I really like that torn edge though, but I think it's taking up too much space for what I was intending. It's a very stiff piece of paper. There we go, that's a good torn edge. Maybe I'll do another one. So again, we still have that paper coming through in the background. Maybe just not as much. Okay, so I'm going to be using Elmer's glue tape. It's pretty important to get a good bond, especially since this is curling. I think it's actually called a tape runner, but I keep calling it glue tape. Okay. All right, so I've got it going a little bit off the top there. That's okay, I can trim it down. This one, though, has a hard corner, so I'd like it to land correctly. I'll do that by lining up the corner and one edge. Okay, then my handy dandy scissors. This is the back side of the paper. It actually is going to feature in another one of my layouts. Go ahead and guess in the comments what you think Pokemon or Eevee evolution that's going to be. Okay, so now we've got Leafeon. Now I'm hoping to get a different composition than the last one. The last one, I had it off to one side and the cards on the other side. I can do those for all of them, but I was hoping to be able to work different angles for the different pictures. So let's see how this looks if we kind of tuck the cards behind. Now, like I said, Leafeon is an evolution of Eevee, so I want to include Eevee in this one. I also want to include the energy type, or element if you want to think of it that way, that kind of create, that Eevee uses to become Leafeon, if you want to think of it that way. Not sure I like that with this Leafeon card. Let's see if we can work another angle. Now, just like in the Eevee that I did before, I'm not really concerned with keeping the words visible so much as the actual cards themselves, or the picture and the artwork, because that's really what's interesting to me. All right, I think that one might work. Yes, I think I'll go with that. Picking your composition before you start gluing things down is really, really important. Now, I've got my cards taped down. They're good and stuck. So, as I mentioned in my previous video, you can find all sorts of things out there for Pokemon. I came across this in a checkout stand. I think it might have been Fred Meyer. Anyway, some grocery store. And this was just a little Pokemon magazine for children. It's about Eevee. And since I was doing the Eevee project, I figured it'd be a great grab. So I was able to come and look through it a little bit, and I found this picture of Leafeon. Now, having a favorite like Leafeon is always a little difficult because there's not so many ephemera around them. You can find Vaporeon, Jolteon, Flareon, all sorts of things for those, but Leafeon just doesn't get as much, I guess, love for those kind of items. So we're going to, so for instance, I don't have a sticker. So I just wanted to see if maybe I can work this into the picture instead. Of course, this will probably come back because it's all about Eevee. So I'm going to cut out Leafeon, see how much I can get, and the best way to get it so it doesn't maybe have so much wording and other Pokemon in it. All right, I was able to cut out that much of it, lost a little bit of the tail, but I think that's something we can still work with. It's important to get our major piece in here, the picture, the actual picture. And so I'm going to use this tape. The tape can be peeled up. If you saw earlier, I did peel up this piece of paper, but it can bend the picture quite a lot that it's taped to, so it's not ideal. So you want to line it up fairly good. I trust, after years of doing this, that I'm pretty good at landing fairly straight. If I wanted to be perfect about it, I would have taken measurements with the ruler I used in the previous video. And that's always an option if you want it to look flawless. Now I think I'm going to put this Eevolution here. No, actually, you know, probably down there, similar to the last sticker I used, but that flat cut on the bottom I think would look best on the flat bottom frame here. There we go. Now, because I don't have any stickers of the Leafeon, I do have these stickers though. These came from, let me see, the layered floral book from Happy Planner. These always come in handy, and Happy Planner makes wonderful stickers, and they have sales all the time, so I do suggest them. They have two different versions. This is a opaque background, which I think would work better in some spots, and this is a washi style sticker, so it's actually clear. I'm not sure how that'll appear with the items that I have going on behind, but I do like these leaves better, I think, for the composition. I think they just look more, they're watercolored, so they look like they match better with the watercolored leaves on Leafeon in this picture. So I'm going to go with a big one here, just right out the gate. As you can see, it is clear. That's where the tape being unstickable is very handy. So then we have some leaves there. And again, these are sleeved, so if I ever needed to, well, this one would take a little bit of work to get it unstuck, but we'd be able to get it out. I think that is really nicely put right there. I think I will actually also try one of these not clear ones. Give a variety and show you how they look. I think right down here. And then one more for good measure. We've got this wide open space here. And we have this wide branch that looks different. I'm choosing the stickers that look different so they don't look too redundant. And this one I'm going to hang off the edge a little bit. It's a sticker so you can tuck it. If too much is sticking off, you can also cut off the excess, kind of as I did with the paper here. I think I'll also do one on the other edge. I mean, she's a plant. Plants have lots of leaves, right? Don't want it to look too bald over here. All right, those are not bending very well. So like I said, I'll just nip them off. And there we go. We've got the Leafeon picture. Now I do have the other, what is it, 7? I've got the full complete collection of the current Eevolutions in the watercolor. I don't have this artist, otherwise I would definitely link them. If someone recognizes it at some point, please let me know. I'd love to add those. So I have more to go. Please let me know if you have a favorite Eevolution that you'd like to see, and stay tuned. Bye-bye.